Welcome, dear friends, to the Taviren, a Wheel of Time podcast hosted by three gentlemen for whom the very wheel itself bends around. Without further ado, here are your hosts, Bill, Rob, and Rich.
And welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the Taviren, a Wheel of Time podcast. I am your humble host, Rob.
And I am Rich.
And Rich and I got the note at Discord this morning at 2 a.m. from Mr. Billiam himself.
Guys, I'm feeling sick. I don't know if I can make it into work today. You might have to go on without me.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that British accent was dead on, huh?
It was.
So, Rich and I are going to run the show today. We are doing another double-up episode. We're going to be handling Chapters 16, The Wisdom, and Chapter 17, Watchers and Hunters. So, how you feeling about these two chapters, Rich?
I feel good.
I mean, we always seem to get the chapters where nothing happens. So,
yeah.
As I joked with Bill, that last time that you and I did a pod, just the two of us, it was a chapter where Rand took a bath, ate dinner, and went to bed. That was pretty much the whole chapter.
Yeah, that was a very short chapter. And, I mean, a little bit happens in 16.
Yeah, a little bit of character building, and in 17, I guess things start to move along again. So I understand the need for a double up here. So no worries, we can knock that out, no problem.
I guess.
So we actually did get an iTunes review. Came late last night. We were actually on our outline I have on here, no new reviews. So this one came late. And Rich, I talked to you off air about this first, but it's actually a celebrity iTunes review. This is from none other than Varen Mathwin herself, Varen Sadai herself, chiming in on our podcast. I feel very honored.
Well, be honored if it's a good one.
It is. It is.
Just be like, oh, crap.
Yeah, if she gave us a 1-star, I'd have to rethink my life.
Yeah.
But this is a 5-star review, and it's titled Favorite Wheel of Time Podcast.
Who?
I've been enjoying having this podcast as a companion through my reread of the series. It is a fun and laid-back podcast that I'd recommend to anyone who wants to dive a little deeper into the books, while occasionally stopping to discuss topics such as trollops or the Queen's Tank License. Thank you, Bill. They, and by they I mean mostly Bill, get sidetracked from time to time, but that's honestly part of the entertainment. Keep up the good work, guys. So thank you very much, Varen Sadai, for that 5-star review. Hopefully we won't go too far off the rails, because once Bill gets going, especially about stuff like, did you know last week we talked about literally the Queen's Tank License?
What?
That's how far off base Bill got us. Somehow we ended up talking about the Queen driving a tank. I don't know. Somehow in his brain he connects those dots, but I don't see it.
It's because he's British. They're kind of weird.
Chalk it all up to that, yeah. So in Wheel of Time news, there's a little bit of news. I guess there has been a new Twitter account set up called Wheel of Time on Prime. That's kind of catchy, a little rhyme there, a little ditty.
Yeah.
Good way to remember it. So it's hashtag WOTONPRIME. So Wheel of Time on Prime. And I guess that's the official Twitter account now for all things Wheel of Time on Amazon.
I wonder when we're going to get this.
I know when the show comes out, or because I think that the Twitter setup is live.
Well, when the show comes out, that's what I'm curious about.
Oh yeah, I know. We got one confirmed actress and a few confirmed locations. I'm not sure they're ready to give us a premiere date just yet.
So. No, just give it to us.
Yeah, just give it to us, and we'll hold you accountable to that date no matter what.
Oh yeah, because we're community.
We're a loving community, and damn it, give us our release date.
That's right.
So also want to give thanks to Narg, or congratulations to Narg and the Daily Trollic. They posted their 100th issue, so quite a milestone for all things Wheel of Time news. So congratulations to both Narg and the Daily Trollic.
Nice.
I know. I saw it. I was like, oh, great, 100. That's great.
We'll get there within 2 books, probably. Just to be honest.
Yes, well, maybe quicker the way Bill puts us to the grind. I'm going to do a triple episode. No.
Bill. Can't believe he just wants to keep doing that to us.
I know.
I'll throw it out there. I did have to get up extra early today, to get ready for work before the show.
I know.
So,
I'm part of the problem too. My availability this week was in the morning, so
it's okay. No worries. I just blame Bill. I blame Bill for everything. Just so you guys know, it happens.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, oh my God, he doesn't let us out much, so we try to take advantage when we can. So once again, as always, thanks to Narc for all the news. Hashtag Twitter time, YouTuber Nameless, all great sources for all things, not just regarding the TV show, but any kind of discussions and all kinds of other information, all Wheel of Time related. So thanks to and shout outs to those guys. Excuse me. So you know what I realized when it's you and me? I don't have to keep corralling you back into the conversation.
Well, it's because I like to stay on point. I mean, if you really want me to, I can kind of go out on a tangent.
No. It's not that I want you to, but it's like a little tangent's okay. But bring it back. Let's go.
Yep. I just don't have that ability to do those things to go off on a tangent like that, unless it's something very passionate that I have. We do that on another show that me and Bill do, and it's enough that you were on that show last week, so you got to do that. Was it the same thing basically?
Well, when he started to roll on a tangent, my thought was, this is your show, go for it. I'm not going to pull you back in. Yeah. And what happened was we got like 50 minutes in, and we were only like halfway through the content. So it was like, all right, quick, let's right. How do you like this game? How do you like that game? How do you like this game? Okay, here's the ratings. Okay, good, done. So, love us on the podcast. Okay, bye.
We have done that a couple times. Bill will get through like all the catch up stuff that we got to do. It's like, all right, and to this topic, and I send him a message. I'm like, dude, we got like 5 minutes left.
Yup.
What the heck?
That's basically how it was.
We got this. So that's a normal thing for us. We don't claim to be very professional. But
no.
Take a little bit of pride.
All three of us knew.
Yeah. And so we could just say Bill is to blame a little
I think
bit,
the general consensus of the community is they understand that you and I, like I said, it's like trying to wrangle a puppy. You just can't. You gotta come on back, bring it back. So, I think the common theme here is everybody knows Bill. We try to corral Bill, and if we don't, Bill will end up talking about the Queen and her tank license. So,
I still can't believe that. But it was part of his charm, though. That's what makes it work. I mean, that's why
you want to say charm, sure. The English.
I'm giving him benefit of the doubt here.
The English way.
Yeah.
All right, so let's bring it back on point, shall we? So, chapter 16, The Wisdom. So, the last chapter ended. The boys were told that Nynaeve was in town and wanting to speak to them. And I love that the ending of the last chapter, they compared that to running into a bunch of Trollocs. That before meeting Nynaeve, Rand is pulled aside by Min. She tells Rand that Nynaeve is part of, quote unquote, it. And one little side note I have here is when Tom comes to like pull Rand aside, he's like, "Come on, boy, we got to meet." Min's like, "Back off, I got this. Don't tell me what to do." So you gotta love Min and her attitude.
Yep, she does a really good job with that. Min still, to me, I'm not fully invested in her.
No,
quite yet. So
I know that Bill and I had a little Discord, not spout. He went hashtag Team Min, and I came back with hashtag Avi Tardad. So, we all have our favorites.
Yeah. She's just not there yet for me. I know she plays a pretty big part in a lot of things, but it's just, I'm not there yet.
Well, there's parts of her character that'll come up. I don't know if it's this book or the next book that really endear me to that character. But that's for when we get to that part.
Yeah.
So as Rand enters the dining hall, and I got here, and thus begins the Battle of the Wills. You got Moiraine on one side, and you got Nynaeve on the other side. Damodred versus Almira. And then poor Egwene's caught in the middle. She's trying to please them both, but there's no possible way that she can please both of these women at the same time. Is there?
No, these two women are very strong and very standoffish between what they truly believe in. You've got Egwene that honestly wants to protect the boys, like just wants to make sure that they're taken care of, and she doesn't really trust what's going on.
What do you mean, Nynaeve?
Nynaeve. Yeah, sorry. Nynaeve wants to make sure. Sorry, I had that backwards.
That's all right.
Nynaeve wants to make sure that they get the boys back home. That's her main job, is to do that. Will trying to figure out where her place is with the group, whereas Moraine is just Aes Sedai. They're really on point to what they want, when they want it, how they want it, and like we've been told multiple times, is that you really can't trust the actual words of an Aes Sedai.
The truth that you hear may not be the truth that you think.
Exactly. So I think that's what it is. And Egwene is definitely caught in the middle with all this, where she has to try to play both sides because she wants to be an Aes Sedai, but yet she grew up with Egwene, so she kind of sees her as part of a leadership from back home.
Yep, it's a bound by. They're both bound by duty, but just in different views of it. You know, Nynaeve feels bound to help protect those from her town. Moraine, prophecy and Legend of the Dragon and all what may be coming up, she's bound by, these are the boys that I've been looking for. They are a very important part of the grand scheme, and I will, do everything within my power to keep them safe and keep them out of the clutches of evil. And it's not that she's saying Nynaeve is evil, but if they go back with Nynaeve, they leave themselves more vulnerable to the evil, and that cannot happen in Moraine's eyes. So that's where you kind of get the dissenting opinions about what's best for everybody. Part of the conversation that starts is Lan asking, how did you find us? And it said Lan shows true surprise and a bit of respect, which for him is a lot, when he finds out that Nynaeve was able to track his trail because of all the, Lan's master, warder. He's an expert at tracking and covering his tracks and not leaving a trail. But she made a beeline and found exactly where they were, and he paid her respect. He paid her father respect because he was the one that trained her how to track and how to find a trail. So we get our first little foreshadowing of how Nynaeve will be foreshadowing of how Nynaeve will enjoy surprising Lan for books and books to come, and how Lan will enjoy being surprised by Nynaeve.
And which is funny to the fact that I think a relationship starts to build here a little bit. Between either friendship and things like that.
Bit.
I believe that.
A little something between Lan and Nynaeve. Who knows?
Yeah. We might have our first potential relationship. Woo! So real quick, you made a comment about Moraine wanting to make sure she does what she needs to do to get the job done, basically.
Yeah.
I want to throw this back here to something. Here's a little bit tangent, just to kind of build a bit of Bill flavor here.
Run with it.
Think of Avengers Infinity War, okay? You know how Doctor Strange was telling Stark that, if it comes down to you or the kid dying, I will let you die. For the time stone. So it kind of makes that to the point of Moraine is saying the same thing. It's like if the boys are gonna be in some way a benefit to the Dark One in some fashion, their concern is probably right that she's gonna kill them.
That's she made that very. I think we already got to that part where she made it very clear. Excuse me. That she said, I will destroy you myself rather than let the Dark One have you.
That was like really early. I think that was when they were on the road from
yeah. So and it was a no nonsense comment. It was a let's make sure that doesn't happen. kind of
made me think about that because the Infinity War was just like that, and they're just the two look at each other like, oh.
Well, you can kind of think of it the same way because Doctor Strange, he was able to, I'm going to go on the tangent here too. He was able to, go through the 14 million different scenarios to find the one path to victory, and he knew that was MCU spoilers. That was going to involve the death of Tony Stark.
It hurts.
So
it hurts a lot.
Not that Moraine is able to suss out 14 million different ways to find a path to victory in the Wheel of Time, but she knows that if the boys go down the dark path, that's a guaranteed loss.
Yep.
And that's
what she's got to. That's what she makes that point.
Yep. So my next note here says, after all the blushing and googly eyes, the real sparks begin. Nynaeve demands to know why Egwene and the boys have been whisked away with an Aes Sedai, and she refuses to believe they are safer with Moiraine. So right out the gate, Nynaeve comes firing.
Yep.
Moiraine, she gives the Aes Sedai speak, for lack of a better term, oh, they're safe, don't worry, I'm telling you the truth, they're safe with me, they would be anywhere else. Nynaeve's just not having any of it. Why? Why'd you do it? Why'd you take people from my town? Why? She's very like boom, 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 boom. Oops,
She's
sorry.
pissed.
She's and something about Moiraine just sticks under her craw, and she can't not be pissed when she's around Moiraine.
Yep.
So.
But there's a reason for that, and I think that won't be known for a while, though. I think.
No, there's things that you thought might be it, but it's not like. At first, Moiraine, like way early in the book, you hear that Nynaeve was mistaken for a child, or she referred to Nynaeve as child.
Mm-hmm.
That is, that child doesn't mean she thinks she's a child. Child is a term that Aes Sedai use for young women who may or may not be able to tap into the may not have the power. So you find out Nynaeve may have been affronted by being referred to as child, but there's reasonings for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
it could just be. I mean, that's why it's probably pissing her off. Is that she's being called a child, but she has no idea why.
Exactly. Nynaeve's used to not necessarily kind of used to getting her way, but it's more or less she's in the dark, and that's not a good mix. She doesn't like being in the dark about anything.
Yep.
So,
and you got to think of it this way too. What might be pissing Nynaeve off is that Egwene took her braid out.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. So it definitely. I mean, she probably caught a glimpse of that, and back in Emma's Field, the braid is a very good sign. Is a very prominent sign in the women's circle.
Yes, that's the and it's the first sign of that. Egwene is slipping over to Moiraine's side.
Yep.
So it's a lot of little details that are piling up to why there's such angst. So the next note I have here says Moiraine says, "Okay, you know what? Everyone out. Me and the Wisdom are going to talk with this, mano a mano." So after which Nynaeve, after the meeting and after the two of them just speak alone, Nynaeve comes out and tells Rand. Is a special moment where she's talking to Rand, and she goes, "He appears more grown in the week that they've been gone. So in the time that he's left Emond's Field to now, he looks more mature to her." And she comments that he's grown so much in the last week.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. As angry as she was, she still finds the time to kind of have a moment with Rand just to kind of pay him that compliment.
Nothing prepares you and grows you up faster than almost being killed multiple times.
Yes. Being chased within an inch of your life, that'll make you, wake up, grow up. Also, Rand decides to take the opportunity and point blank asks Nynaeve, is Tam my true father? Am I adopted? And, although she's not an Aes Sedai, she does her best Aes Sedai impersonation, and she ends up admitting that he was born outside of the Two Rivers.
But didn't admit that he was not.
Correct.
Tam was not his father.
The truth you hear may not be the truth you think.
Yep.
So
very good.
Yep. So it's kind of funny how she's not an Aes Sedai, but she knows how to play on words with the best of them. So
wordplay.
Yes. That's all I have so far. That's all I have for chapter 16. It's
16 doesn't really have too much on it. It's just more of a
character building. It's our first face off between Nynaeve and Moiraine.
The first of many.
Yes, and our first real encounter between Nynaeve and Lan. So, whatever may come of that. So. Next chapter is chapter 17, Watchers and Hunters. So my first note here says, Tom gives us a bunch of lore by telling us, the great story, or the story of the great hunt of the Horn. And then he breaks into song. Now, That's nothing I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to touch any of the songs in this book. But
I think you should sing it.
More on that maybe later in a later chapter. I'll talk to you offline about that.
No, I'm just kidding.
I think our first, we've been hearing teases of a story called The Great Hunt. Obviously, one of the books of the series is called talks about this greatly. But yeah, we get our first bit of singing or songs as part of lore in this world, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, and I do like how they continually reference, and I think that's a common theme of the Jordan's books is the fact that he, will say something about the next book within the book before that we're in now. He talks about the Great Horn and the journey that happens and how people go look for it. So that's kind of, you could get an idea what's going to be with the new the next book. He
shapes a little foreshadowing for the next book, little preview. So yeah, this is a perfect example of that right here. Mm-hmm. And when we get the dance scene where everybody dances with Rand, like I hear he dances with Egwene, he dances with Lorraine, he dances with Nynaeve, and I have here he dances with the Winking Girl because I think he runs into her twice, which cracked me up.
It's funny that Rand is definitely becoming a ladies' man, and he doesn't even know it.
I just wish I had game like Perrin does. Oh, man. So, everyone's dancing, except for one creepy bloke in the back with a scar on his face that creeps Rand out. So, he's been told, keep an eye out for anything kind of that sets you on edge or anything not correct or not right. So... after the dance, he's noticed that this guy's just staring him down. And it's kind of a menacing-looking guy in the back just staring him down. So he goes to Lan and he tells Lan, he's like, hey, this guy's kind of creeping me out. He's staring at me. I'm not sure what this is about. So Lan was kind of dismissive about Scarface. He says he's probably a spy for the White Cloaks. And I'm like, however, he does comment that there is something wrong tonight. So... Lan has a little bit of foreshadowing and understanding that things might be happening tonight. He tells the party to stay close in case of a quick getaway is warranted.
Yep.
So, one thing, we're not sure of the warder's, powers and abilities, but we do come to know later that, he can sense, I guess, like a sense of evil. So he knows something's around, but he can't put his finger exactly on what it is.
I have no comments on that part here. I do have comments for the next stuff that's coming up, though.
And I have here, from boyish charm to serious danger. Rand, we talk about how grown up Rand is and how he's maturing. He goes, he's tired. He's tired of dancing. So you know what he does? He goes to find a glass of milk. That cracks me up.
I
know.
Such a child.
I know. So he's walking down the hallway drinking his glass of milk. And he comes face to face with whom I call Kevin the Murdrawl. I've named all Murdraws in this book series Kevin because it just sounds better. So Rand, I could just see Rand with a milk mustache, face to face with a Murdrawl, and how that would have been. Yeah, I know. What? So we have Rand's first encounter with a Murdrawl, and they actually talk.
Yeah. So. That one here, okay, so imagine this as you're walking down the hall with your glass of milk, being a child, and this creepy, I was going to pull up Samuel Jackson, but never mind, I think we should keep this clean. This creepy MF walking up to you, and you just freak out because obviously it's a Murdrawl, and it's got his sword out, and he's proclaiming that you belong to the great Lord of the Dark. And you're like, that's not good.
Well, the thing, he sees a dark figure in a dark robe, oily, slick hair, and he knows something's wrong, but is when he pulls back the hood and looks up and you get the eyeless face. And that's when it's like, oh my God, this is a Murdrawl. And he's somehow looking at me, although he has no eyes. And that's where the real fear and despair set in. And he's like, oh, shit.
Yep.
Let me put my milk down.
Do you think with his slick black hair, like this pulled back, you think he's from New Jersey?
Hey, I can see New Jersey out my front door. That's how close I am. I can't say that.
Ew. Ew.
Oh no.
That just makes me laugh. Sorry, people who live. Well, let's be real. The people in New Jersey or like the Guido guys that we're talking about probably don't read much.
I can neither confirm nor deny that remark. Next question, please.
It's a podcast. We like to make fun of everyone. That just made me laugh.
Anyway, just joke. I'm joking. We love everybody.
I just said that just popped in my head. I just thought of like Jersey Shore, that TV show.
All right, I'll give you that. Yeah,
and that's what I thought
Kevin
about.
Kevin could have been dating JWoww.
That's right. He's kind of big. He's swole.
What you do down there on the shore?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Now you're gonna get me in trouble.
That's okay.
So as the Murder seems to come at him with this dark sword that seems to suck the light out of the room, Lan comes bounding down the stairs, boom, 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 and saves the day. And all Rand can say was, "Murdral, that way." And he's like, "Okay, pack your things."
I'm aware of that. Thank you.
Yep, pack your things. We out. So,
yeah.
A quick getaway is very warranted now, after Lan's warning from earlier. Moiraine argues logic with the watchguard and convinces him to do a 180. I think it was I forget what the watchguard's name is, but as they go to leave, he's like, "But mistress, we're not allowed to not allowed to let people, or how do you word it? Like, we can't open the gates to let people in." And she's like, "But we want to leave. Open the gates to let us out." "Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, open the gates." So
yep.
I don't know if it was logic with a little bit of magic or just total play on words to get the guard to do a 180. But he opens the gate to let them leave. At Aes Sedai and her mind games at work. And who happens to saunter by as they try to leave?
Stupid freaking white cloaks.
Goddamn white cloaks. They always show up at the worst time.
Yeah, these guys are kind of dicks.
Can I say it? I'm going to say it once, and I'll probably say it again, but nobody expects the white cloaks.
These guys, honestly, in this book, they're going to pop up a bunch of times that are just very inconvenient, and they're not helpful for anything. They're just honestly very radical believers in the light, and they're just
it's very simple. If you're not with them, you must be evil and must be purged. So that's,
and by purge they mean die.
Yeah, I think someone on Discord posted a meme pic today or yesterday, and it was a picture of some guy looking at a butterfly, and the guy was a white cloak, and the butterfly signifies virtually anything else, and the caption says, "You must be evil."
Yep.
And that's pretty much how it is. Yep. Obviously, if you're not with us, you must be working with the Dark One and must die now.
Yep. Or you go into their questioners.
Oh, that's even worse.
Which is code for, we're going to torture the crap out of you until you admit that you're a dark friend, and then we're going to kill you.
Yes. So, they happen to saunter by and see a party making an exit out of the city at night, and immediately they're like, "What's going on here, guys? Why would someone be leaving in the dark of night unless they're evil?" And, as they're making their way through the party, one of them happens to go, "This one looks familiar to us, sir."
Yep.
And it's like, "Bwomp, bwomp. Yeah. You're the guy who laughed at us earlier when we got dirty. You must be evil now. Why would you laugh at us, then try to leave in the middle of the night, evil person?" So they're curious as to why the people are trying to leave in the middle of the night, then become very, very curious when Rand is recognized as one of the people leaving. So instead of explaining why they're leaving, what happens next?
Okay, so Moiraine actually does step out from the darkness behind, and she was trying to keep herself covered.
Yeah.
And speaking very loudly what's going on. Now, here's the fun part. The White Cloaks actually can recognize an Aes Sedai.
I think, they're probably trained to look for the agelessness features that Aes Sedai have.
So what happens is they freak out, and they draw their swords against him, and against her at least, and she doesn't like that.
Yeah, she starts to cast some magic, and I have a theory about this series of events here. But why don't you give me your thoughts on the magic that she goes with right now?
It has to be an illusion of some sort.
Well, then maybe we're on the same page.
Yeah, it has to be something that she's doing to make herself seem bigger than she actually is.
Yeah,
because I don't foresee that power being able to be like make you grow like 3-4 times your size.
Well, no, I agree. So just to kind of catch those up who are reading along for the first time, she casts a spell, and her appearance grows to that of, they don't give us a certain height, but she's bigger than any building in the city, and literally as the White Cloaks are taken aback by the magic, the party leaves through the gate. Moiraine literally steps over the gate. That's how large she is, and then rejoins the party, reduced, goes back to her normal size, and then they make their escape that way. One other note.
That's good.
It's a good spell, and I think I'm with you, Rich. That it's an illusion. And
because if not, you see some old lady screaming in the back, going, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, and as the illusion is stepping over the gate, I think she goes back under her hood and kind of makes her way out the gate along with everybody else. Now that's not described in the book, but that's my theory on it, because I think Bill even alluded to this. And I think this might have been the scene Bill was talking about. No one ever, spoilers to a point. I don't think anybody ever uses that spell again. I know Moiraine does not use that spell again.
Yeah, I don't think so either, because it probably takes a big toll on her, to be honest.
Well, and it's and I'm not, it's a great chapter. It's a great series of events, but it's a little bit of kind of what I call like a Harry Potter syndrome, where every movie there's a new magic that's discovered and never utilized again. Like in the third book, they actually have a time machine, so they could just rewrite the ending of the third book, but they never use that piece of magic again for the rest of the series, and you'll watch all of these important characters die. Yeah. And even though they knew they had this time machine, they never utilized it again. So it was kind of like a one-time use item. That's how this spell was, like a one-time use spell. We got to get out of here. What's the cleanest way we can get out of here without bloodshed or causing, any more harm to anybody else? So she's like, all right, I'll, cast illusion, enlarge illusion, freak everybody out, have the illusion step over the gates, and I'll sneak out with Lan. That's my theory.
Here's another thing too with that one of the White Cloaks, and I forget, actually tried to strike her, and she blocked it and broke his sword. Yeah.
So I mean, that could have been, maybe. I mean, I could kind of, maybe there's a secondary spell she used against that one attack. I don't know. There's ways to write. I mean, there's different ways to look at it. Like I said, I have my theory. Anybody else can say that she really did enlarge herself. She really did, step over the wall. So. Who knows? But long story short, White Cloaks freaked out. Party makes their escape. Gates close behind them. They get away from the White Cloaks and back out into the wilderness.
Yep, they head back down the Camelin Road. So,
Camelin Road. So, one other note, I guess, because Master Fitch at the Stag and Lion apparently was harboring Aes Sedai, because I guess word travels super fast. Because once she's found as Aes Sedai, the Stag and Lion bursts into flames.
Now, okay. With that, I don't think it was anything to do with people doing it. I honestly think it was the Murdral and the Dark Friends might have got to it.
Could be.
And was trying to set it on fire. I don't believe the word traveled that quickly, unless the White Cloaks can run really freaking quick.
Or that guy, the Scarface guy,
Yeah, that could be the Dark Friend.
He could be in line with the White Cloaks, or he could be in line with Kevin and the Trollocs. But,
Yeah, Kevin.
Kevin. So the Stag Lion bursts into flames, and Nynaeve's immediate concern is there's injured I have to go tend to them. That's that's the healer. That's the healer in her kicking in. I got to go back. There's bound to be wounded. I can help people. And Moiraine's like, if we go back, we're all dead. I understand. Yep. I understand your need to help and aid the wounded, but that is a death sentence if we go back to help. So,
plus they don't have time for that. They
don't have time for that.
Faster.
But once again, it's another burr in the side of Nynaeve against Moiraine. Yeah. Deep down, Nynaeve knows that is the correct move, is to just plow forward, but she doesn't like it, and that's another tick why I hate Moiraine on another reason. She wouldn't let me go back, even though she was right. She wouldn't let me go back and help the wounded. So
yeah, and she even believes it could be a trap. I mean, if they might think that by going back, they're doing good stuff like you said, but it could just be a big old trap.
It could have been. So, and like Moiraine's just forward, ever moving forward. We have a quest. We have a job. These boys need to get safe. Going back is not the way to go. So, chapter ends with them leaving Berlon in flames. Well, at least the stag and lion in flames.
By now, it's probably a smoldering ash.
it's probably just a stag. The lion died.
Yeah,
the stag and dead lion. That's the new name of the rebuild. Anyway, those are 2 chapters. A little bit of action there at the end.
I like it. I like this chapter better than the last one.
Yeah,
because it does have that action to it, and you get to see more up close of a Murdral and how they move. I mean, really, if you think about it, that Murdral just presents himself,
glides.
Yeah, it glides around, presents himself to Rand, and then as soon as Land comes barreling in there to kill this thing, or at least attempt to, it's just gone. It disappears that quickly.
Goes into the shadows and disappears.
Yeah, which kind of puts it back to what Jordan was doing with how these creatures actually move in and out. The Dark Ones and the Dark Friends and all that, they can teleport with the darkness. Like the dark is their friend. They can get in and get out. You may think you're safe from them, but if they know where you're at, they can get there.
Yep. We'll find out later that there's other ways that darkness and evil can spread throughout the land, but that's for a later chapter.
Yeah, because they haven't clearly answered yet how all those Trollocs and stuff got past the everything. It does not explain that, so there has to be something else there that you guys, that the new readers haven't figured out yet. Still, myself was trying to figure that out. But
I mean, they can understand maybe a small group, a little squadron or a fist could make it so far south, but thousands and there's no way that would have gone by unnoticed. So something else evil is afoot.
Yeah, because I mean, let's be honest. The farmer's going to see that are people out there in the wilderness going, "Hey, that's a lot of what the hell are those?" So yeah.
Get inside, honey, right now. Get inside. Lock the door. So that's going to take us into readings with Rob. For the 2 chapters for this go around, for the wisdom chapter, I took listen, let the sparks fly. Lan admires Nynaeve's huge abilities to track. And in chapter 17, we have Rand meets Kevin, the Murdral. And those are our readings with Rob. So
Kevin.
I'm
just going to do that every time you mention it. I'm like, Kevin.
I think of Kevin from... Ever seen the movie Up?
Yes.
That's the name of the big bird. That's what I think of. All right. Readings with Rob.
And now, the Ta'viren present to you Readings with Rob.
For a minute, the room was as still as a carving. Then Egwene and Perrin, and then finally Mat, made their reluctant way to the table and took seats. Toward the middle with Rand. Egwene tugged her hood further forward, enough to half hide her face, and they all avoided looking at anyone. "Well," Tom snorted from his place beside the door, "at least that much is done." "Since everyone is here," Lan said, leaving the fireplace and filling one of the silver cups with wine, "perhaps you will finally take this." He proffered a cup to Nynaeve. She looked at it suspiciously. "There's no need to be afraid," he said patiently. You saw the innkeeper bring us the wine, and neither of us had a chance to put anything in it. It is quite safe. The wisdom's mouth tightened angrily at the word afraid, but she took the cup and murmured,
Thank you.
I am interested, he said, in how you found us.
So am I. Moraine leaned forward intently. Perhaps you are willing to speak now that Egwene and the boys have been brought to you.
Nynaeve sipped the wine before answering the Aes Sedai.
There was nowhere for you to go except Baerlon. To be safe, though, I followed your trail. You certainly cut back and forth enough, but then I suppose you would not care to risk meeting decent people.
You followed our trail, Lad said, truly surprised for the first time that Rand could remember. I must be getting careless.
You left very little trace, but I can track as well as any man in the Two Rivers, except perhaps Tam Althor.
She hesitated, then added,
Until my father died, he took me hunting with him, and taught me what he would have taught his sons if he ever had any.
She looked at Lan challengingly, but he only nodded with approval. You could follow a trail that I've tried to hide. He has taught you well. Few can do that, even in the borderlands. Abruptly, Nynaeve buried her face in her cup. Rand's eyes widened. She was blushing. Nynaeve never showed herself even the least bit disconcerted. Angry, yes, outraged often, but never out of countenance. But she was certainly red-cheeked now, and trying to hide in the wine.
Perhaps now, Moraine said quietly, you will answer a few of my questions. I have answered yours freely enough. With a great sack full of Gleeman's tales,
Nynaeve retorted.
The only facts that I can see are that 4 young people have been carried off, for the light alone knows what reason, by an Aes Sedai.
You have been told that isn't known here, Lad said sharply. You must learn to guard your tongue.
Why should I?
Nynaeve demanded.
Why should I help hide you or what you are? I've come to take Egwene and the boys back to Evans Field, not help you spirit them away.
Bran stood in the hall alone. After having so many people around, it was lonely indeed. He hurried to the kitchen, where a scullery maid was still on duty. She poured him a mug of milk from a big stone crock for him. As he came out of the kitchen drinking, a shape in dull black started towards him down the length of the hall, raising pale hands to toss back the dark cowl that had hidden the face beneath. The cloak hung motionless as the figure moved, and the face, a man's face, but pasty white, like a slug under a rock, and eyeless. From oily black hair to puffy cheeks that was as smooth as an eggshell, Rand choked, spraying milk. The Fade said, a hoarse whisper like a file softly drawn across bone. Dropping the mug, Rand backed away. He wanted to run, but it was all he could do to make his feet take him one halting step at a time. He could not break free of that eyeless face. His gaze was held, and his stomach curdled. He tried to shout for help, to scream. His throat was dry like stone. Every ragged breath hurt. The Fade glided closer, in no hurry. Its strides had a sinuous, deadly grace, like a viper. The resemblance emphasized by the overlapping black plates of armor down its chest. Thin, bloodless lips curved into a cruel smile, made more mocking by the smooth, pale skin where eyes should have been. The voice made Bornhold's seem warm and soft. Where are the others? I know they are here. Speak, boy, and I will let you live. Rand's back struck wood, a wall or a door. He could not make himself look around to see which. Now that his feet had stopped, he could not make them start again. He shivered, watching the murderer slither nearer. His shaking grew harder with every slow stride. Speak, I say. From above came a quick clatter of boots. From the stairs up the hall, and the murderer cut off. Whirling, the cloak hung still. For an instant the Fade's head tilted, as if that eyeless gaze could pierce the wooded wall. A sword appeared in a dead white hand, blade as black as the cloak. The light in the hall seemed to grow dimmer at the presence of that blade. The pounding of boots grew louder, and the Fade spun back to Rand, an almost boneless movement. The black blade rose, narrow lips peeled back in a rictus snarl. Trembling, Rand knew he was going to die. Midnight steel flashed at his head and stopped. His breathy grating of that voice sounded like fingernails scratched across a slate. Spinning in a black blur, the Fade darted down the hallway from Rand. The shadows at the end of the hall reached out and embraced it, and it was gone. Rand leaped down the last stairs, landing with a crash, sword in hand. Rand struggled to find his voice. Fade, he gasped. It was... Abruptly, he remembered his sword. With the Murdral facing him, he had never thought of it. He fumbled the heron-marked blade out now, not caring if it was too late. It ran that way. Land nodded absently. He seemed to be listening to something else. Yes, it's going, fading. No time to pursue it now. We're leaving, sheepherder.
That was Readings with Rob. If there's a passage in an upcoming chapter you wish to have read on the podcast, simply tweet us at TavirenPod with your request.
All right, that's Readings with Rob. I did try to voice Kevin pretty good, Rich, but I tried to be creepy, but I think I came off a little too quiet. But we'll see.
You should have done a Jersey Shore guy.
Yo, you with the dark one now. No, I can't. I can't. I have friends from New Jersey. I can't do that.
It's okay. You don't sound like a New Jersey person, so you're okay.
I know.
You sound normal.
Well, I'm part of the tri-state area.
Yeah.
Not giving away my location, but I'm part of the tri-state area, which is Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. So I'm in that area.
Oh man. Okay,
and
so
next chapter. Next chapter is the Camelin Road. And I'll make another song joke. I think of Willie Nelson, On the Road Again. So you laughed at that one. So
yeah, I got that one.
Yeah, you didn't leave me out dry. Leave me out to dry this time.
No. I got you there. I'm gonna try to not leave you out dry like that.
Yeah, then I'll have to go back and find the song and play it on the podcast again.
Yeah. What's funny is the fact that honestly, I think this is one of our better episodes.
I think one of our non-Bill episodes. I think we actually did pretty good. Yeah,
and it's longer than like 20 minutes.
It's because we doubled up.
Yep.
So. Yep. So just as always, please show some love by rating and review our podcast. We are all over the place. We're on Twitter. We're on Discord. We have a Discord server. It's starting to pick up a little bit of steam again. Join the Discord. Join the conversation. We have a YouTube channel. I believe that Tyler, our producer, has a presence on both Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
There's no way to avoid us. We're everywhere. We're like Trollocs. We're everywhere now. You have no idea how far we've come, but we've gotten in here. We're everywhere.
Yeah, we're everywhere. Which I like to say that also too for everybody. We are picking up a lot of steam. We're getting a lot of listeners, and we want to thank you guys for really listening to us and going through this journey with us with all these books. There's 14 books here, so it's going to be a while for us. And we're going to be here doing these things. So if you guys want us to have any we come join us in the Discord. That's the biggest place that we have the conversation going. I try not to talk too much on there because I just unfortunately I'm very busy during the day, so I'm not able to have the conversation. And
just to reiterate, Rich is only 3 books into the series, so some Wheel of Time jokes may go over his head.
Yeah, a lot of them do. But we want you guys to know that when you get to that Discord, you talk to us, give us ideas for subject matter and things like that. We want you guys to be involved with the conversation in the book because this is really a fan service.
Exactly.
For the series.
So yeah, anything to make this a better experience for everybody, we're all about. So, like I said, criticism's good, bad, neutral. We take it all, and we take it all in stride. So
wait, no, I don't want criticism. What are you talking about? I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, Bill and his tangents. Me and my earlier audio, problems, which I've hopefully
you
rectified.
Sound crystal clear.
Thank you very much, Richard.
You sound very crystal clear.
Yeah, but we still have more things planned for this experience, and we say more, we mean even more above just podcasts. Like I said, Bill teased the idea of YouTube videos, maybe quick hit YouTube videos of us talking about, sorry, Rich, spoiler issues, so that you have to leave you out. I was also submitted my readings with Rob's to be put up on YouTube. So if you wanted to just check those out in little quick 3-4 minute bursts, those would be available to you also. And we even have stuff planned on top of that too. So
I guess I gotta be joining more stuff, guys. I didn't realize your Midwestern American host here is sometimes clueless, apparently.
Well,
which is fine.
Hey, go sit down and crunch out the other 11 books and then come back to us. Nah, just kidding.
No, I don't want to do that. Honestly, in my opinion, I like doing it this way with myself, because you two have read these books. You know this stuff more than I do. It gives me that opportunity to be that, first time.
Oh, I know.
Like, oh, this is awesome kind of thing.
And this is my first reread after I finished the book, finished the series. So I'm picking up, like I've mentioned, I've picked up things in this book that don't have a payoff until the final book. And that blew my mind away. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but Jordan did something in book 1 that pays off in book 14. Just
nice. Ponder
that for a minute and how epic that is.
Nice.
And when I read it in the first book, I was like, oh my God. And it was just like, boom. It's like, as much as I love this series, it exponentially grew in that moment when I reread that section. It was incredible.
Yeah.
A couple other things. Just wanted to mention. A friend of mine has a book that's out on Amazon. He's a children's author. His name is David Baer, Baer. He's a great guy. He's got a book out there called Fat Brother, Skinny Brother. I just wanted to put it out there, give him a shout out, and if anybody's interested for a good quality children's book, to check it out on Amazon. Once again, his name is David Baer, Baer. Show him some love. He deserves it. He's a good guy. Other podcasts, Rich and Bill have their RPG The Golden Years podcast. Bill has, and you guys are slowly closing the book on Romancing Saga, right?
Yeah, that game.
That one.
Swear to God.
I love the podcast, but sometimes you guys will grab a game and you weren't expecting it to be as much of a beast, and this was one of those times where there's like, woof, this was a lot bigger than we thought.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm only doing one scenario. I'm almost done with it, but it'll get some good reviews on various things, but it's not going to get a lot of good love from me.
Oh boy,
I can tell.
You old curmudgeon.
Yeah. It's just, I can tell within the first 20-30 minutes of me playing a game if I'm actually like it.
I get you. I know how that is. But you're bound by honor, and you get to that when you realize that after 30 minutes, you're like, oh no.
Yep, then you're like, crap, I got to push this off somehow. No. So, but yeah, we have that podcast, the RPG Golden Years, and we have another one. I think Bill was talking the AOXP.
The audio only experience. The experience is spelled XP. Bill is playing an old game by Hideo Kojima called Police Knots, and you get to hear the audio as he plays and his running commentary on the game.
Nice.
I think Bill needs to wash his hands every time he plays this game because it's pretty much of a space perv, he calls it.
Nice.
So he feels all icky, so he has to clean up afterwards.
Ew.
I also have a podcast, still only the one pilot episode out there, but it's called Mario Talk with Alex and Anthony. I'll let you know, it's hard to corral a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old boy to sit in front of a microphone and talk. So, especially during the summer. So
it's a good one. I recommend checking it out, guys.
Thanks. So that's all I have. You got anything else, Rich? I
don't as of right now. That's That's all I got.
All right.
I can't think of anything else.
I guess we'll see you guys out on the Camelin Road next week. Take care, guys.
Road again.
Oh, there you go.
See, I did it.
Got me.
So, all right, guys. We'll
Take
see you next
care.
time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you want to continue the conversation, tap into the One Power and contact us on Twitter at TavirenPod. You can also contact Bill at Matunica and Rich at HaleBlue1569. You can also reach Rob at his website, digging, D-I-G-G-I-N, diggingdeepsports.com. And, as always, we will see you at the Wine Spring Inn.
Here's to another great podcast, gentlemen. Cheers! Ah, damn it, Bill! Not again! Brad, can you get another round of pints for me and the boys? Yes, again. No, Bill this time. Thank you, Brad. Much appreciated. Now, where were we, men? Actually, I believe it's Rich's turn at the Stones table. What's that you say? No, I don't think old Sen will have Mac ready.
Hello, friends. This is Troidal Power, host of the Troidal Power Presents the Power Playthroughs podcast with Troidal Power, a podcast where I, your host, Troidal Power, play through games in a powerful way. And I'm inviting you to listen to Troidal Power Presents the Power Playthroughs podcast with Troidal Power, a podcast where I, your host, Troidal Power, play through games in a powerful way. You can find it and a lot of other weird shows at probablywork.com.
Send it to Bill. Put him to work.
Okay.
I say we talk over each other all the whole way, so it just makes it hard for him to edit.
Okay.
This has been a presentation
of the We Can Make This Work
Probably Network.
Follow us on Twitter
at Probably Work for more of our questionable content.
Also, we have a website called probablywork.com.